You want to reference the Indy 500 at all?
No.
Yeah.
Fucking hate the Indy 500.
Welcome to the United States of Formula One. Nicky.
As always, Cookie.
Monaco, round 8.
Round 8 of the 2025 F1 season.
Oh, man. So this race, typically, it's iconic. It's a beautiful, great scenery. A little boring.
Okay.
This is 100% a qualifying race.
Now, it's been around since 1950. Actually, the first race was in 1929. First Formula One was 1950. They've had a race there every year since 1955. That is the definition of iconic. If people that don't know anything about Formula One, myself included, going a few years back, I knew about Monaco. You know, I wouldn't have necessarily known that there was one in Imola or in Australia, but I knew about Monaco. Oh. Your biggest issue when you say that it's boring is because?
Tiny track, 1 DRS zone, the pass.
Okay.
I'll give you this little nugget that I just found out today that may make the race more interesting.
Pray tell.
It's now a mandatory 2 stops.
Oh.
Yes, mandatory 2 stops in the race. So you have to use 3 tires too. You have to use your soft, you have to use your hard, and you have to use your medium.
Really?
Yes.
So yep. 2 stops, and between what you start, so you could paint yourself into a corner where you're having to use the third one. So this isn't qualifying. This is actually during the race.
This is actually during the race. So 2 years ago. 2 years ago, 2 years ago, red flag on the first lap. All the racers changed out their tires and used that same set of tires for the whole race. So it made it for a boring race. So I think that this could potentially make this race fantastic. Now the views and everything like that is beautiful. The yachts and the beautiful women and all that good stuff. Yeah, but I want to see a good race.
I like that though. As terrible as the FIA is, to come up with that idea to say, okay, this race is statistically boring. You win the pole, you win the race. Not a lot of movement. 1 DRS zone, like you said. It's narrow. It's just over 2 miles long, so it's short track. They do have 78 laps.
Yes.
So the most laps of any of the races. But because it's so short, I like that kind of wrench thrown in there, saying you have to stop twice. You have to use all your tires. You can start with one that you think is not ideal for the race. What would your strategy be? Do you end strong? Do you start strong?
I have no idea because it's all. I mean, the top 6 that qualified last year finished in the exact same position.
Yes, we looked at that 1 through 6, the way you qualified.
Yep. So, if it's me, I'm starting on. I guess I'm starting on maybe softs, try to gain some positions, go to mediums, and then go to hards, or maybe go hards then to mediums. I'm not sure how they're going to do that.
This is going to be exciting.
I'm going to like it. So because the safety car may mess it up because then it's just like throw a medium on right away.
Well, how do you typically have a safety car at Monaco?
A lot of times, yeah, because of the tight corners.
There are some tight corners on there. I like the look of that. But I think, normally when we see the race starting, it's, say, 16 guys are on the same tire. Maybe they're all on hards or mediums. And then 4 guys, usually in the back of the pack, that are trying to be risky because they have nothing to lose. This one, you're going to see a rainbow of tires.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to see
a whole bunch of different strategies.
Will anyone come out, if it's dry, in a wet tire?
I think so.
Just to get a little extra traction.
Wet tire and or intermediate, and that is going to be Aston Martin's strategy. Wet to intermediate, even if it's dry.
Directly to
And then if it's dry, they're going to go soft.
I'm excited to see because they're going to keep that information tight with the team. They're not going to share what we're starting with. So right away, they uncover the tires that have been hidden. And they come on out. I like it. Who has the lap record here?
I'm going to guess the same person has most of them. This is Hamilton.
He's super easy.
Yeah.
He was a stud for so long that he pretty much has the lap record at every track. 2021, minute 12, he has that one. Who won last year? You would think Max Verstappen, right? Because he won almost every race.
Yeah, so Charles Leclerc.
It was.
Yeah.
He qualified first and he won. So this qualifying is enormous. Now, I think, could you still have one of those early passes? I mean, last week in Imola, we had Verstappen second, made a pass in the second corner of lap 1.
And then he ran away with it.
So that key is that start, the qualifying and your start.
Yeah.
Turns 1, turn 2.
You want pole. You need pole or at least second place. And if you're in second place, I would suggest make that move immediately.
Yes.
Or else you ain't going to be able to.
Yes.
So look at that.
I do like that. So it's a kind of a cartoon, The Simpsons-esque feel of the track, but I like, man, that is beautiful. That just goes right there. It's in Yachtville.
It's extreme Yachtville. And you get to jump in an awesome pool if you win this race. So that's
Is
fun.
that standard?
Yeah, it's standard.
Now, would anyone else on the podium, or it's just the winner?
Just the winner.
Now, is it that pool that I can see?
I think it might be.
Okay, right
Pretty
there by
cool.
the start finish. It is beautiful, and it makes me a little disappointed that it is a boring race because it's set up to be such an iconic town, beautiful scenery, been around for 70 years.
And maybe it might be different because we thought Imola, for all you people that wanted to correct us, it's Imola.
Ebola.
We thought that was going to be a boring race. That turned out to be fantastic. So hopefully we can bring that right over to Monaco.
And Max helped us out a little bit. He
did.
May or may not have made a coin on that little fella.
We did. Last second coin.
Speaking of coins and predictions, do you want to get into your predictions?
I do.
They went last week. You were what, 1 of 3?
1 of 3.
1 of 3. Okay.
So are you.
What are your predictions here? I see some faces up there. I don't know what you're doing with them.
Okay, so Oscar Piastri, much better racer than last year at Monaco, finished second. So, I mean, he's on a roll this year. I'm going to put him not on the podium. I'm going to put him finishing. He's going to be the race winner.
Okay. I like that. Mm-hmm. He was on the pole last week.
He was on the pole last week.
And Verstappen said, I'm still the dog.
Yes.
So that doesn't scare you at all? You're just going right back to him?
Going right back to him.
Right.
Going right back to him.
Right.
Lewis Hamilton, I know they qualified absolutely horrendous in Imola, but I am going to put him on the podium this week for the first time for an actual race.
He qualified 11th or 12th?
11th or 12th last week.
They were 11th, 12th.
But he popped all the way up to 4th.
4th. So yeah,
it's got to be a good qualifying though. He's got to qualify 3rd, and I think he'll finish 3rd.
Plus, he's got to pass some big dogs. If he's going to be on the podium, somebody's being left out, whether it's Norris, Verstappen, somebody's getting left out.
And you know who's getting left out? My last pick is Verstappen out of the top 4. Last year he finished 6th.
So you're saying not even a podium.
Not a podium.
He's going to be 5th or worse?
5th or worse.
Probably 5th.
Yes.
So you're basically saying Verstappen's going to finish 5th because he's not going to be any worse than that.
Yeah, he might be 6th. He was 6th last year.
6th last year, yeah. He must have had a poor qualify. He qualified 5th, obviously, because the top 6 all finished. You had Leclerc, Piastri, Sainz, Norris, Russell, Max, Hamilton. That was your top 6, the way they qualified.
So,
will you do better than 1 out of 3 this week?
I hope so, but those are some pretty tough picks right there.
Will I do better than 1 out of 3? I was the same as you. 3 predictions, thought I was going to nail them. I got 1 out of 3.
Okay.
I am going for Verstappen as well, and I'm saying with Verstappen, he's not going to be out of the top 4. He's not going to be out of the top 3 or top 2 because he's going to win.
Oh, back-to-backers.
So you have him 5th or worse. I have him numero uno, back-to-back weeks. Max is backs. Do you agree? No, you don't. And I don't care.
I wouldn't doubt it, but,
Charles Leclerc. I'm going to do something similar with him that you did with Max. And I'm going to have Leclerc out of the top 6.
Really? After he won last year? Okay, I like the
I
reasoning.
am. And it's going to go back to last week, how frustrated he was. You heard him on the radio. He's frustrated. They qualified poorly. I know he climbed back up to 6th. I just don't feel like, I don't know. I feel like they brought some improvements, brought some upgrades last week.
They did.
I'm feeling something strong here that Leclerc, I agree with you that Hamilton's going to do well. I think Leclerc's out of the top 6.
Okay, I like it.
On a more positive note, Williams, Albon, Sainz, both in the points. I don't think that's a super bold prediction. Maybe week 1 or 2 when you didn't know what Albon was going to do.
No, I mean, if Albon, he's going to be up there.
He's been a stud.
But Sainz has been...
He said it right.
Did I really?
He said it
You're
right.
welcome, people that hate us.
Said it right.
So Sainz is going to... he's been 8th. So I think you're right. I think that that's it. That's a pushy one. Those are hard picks too. So
I don't think it's crazy. I mean, he's finished 5th 3 times this year. He's only been out of the points once. But I think you can finally believe in him. I think it was kind of he's above his pay grade and he's doing better than he should, but he's just performing.
Okay.
And signs, like you said early in the season, you said give him 5-6 races.
Oh, yeah.
Let him get into that car. He's a stud, and I think Williams they're locked into that 5th position in the constructors, and I think I don't think anyone's going to pass them. I think they'll struggle to get into 4th.
Yeah,
but I think they're locked into 5th, and I love that because that means Aston Martin is moving on down.
Yeah, and that makes a whole lots of money for them for next year. So no picks that we're actually making, but do you think Antonelli bounces back this week?
I don't. I think this is...
It wasn't his fault.
I understand it was a power unit, but now it's getting his head. He's a young kid. I think this is the beginning of the end of his rookie season. I think he's going to bounce back next season, but I think it's going to be turmoil from here on out for Kimi, and Isaac Hadjar is going to show him levity.
Isaac Hadjar did fantastic last week, so I'm hoping that he can bring that and gives RB some more points too. So, yeah.
And Hulkenberg, 17th.
He was almost in the points this week. He was in there a couple of times, just bouncing back and forth.
During some safety cars and some boxes that were off, yeah, he popped into like 9th, but that was fake news.
Yeah, well.
Another 17th for Nico. Love him. Guess what? Love you too.